Welcome back to the Hub. Last season, David Reutimann had a win to his credit and an outside shot at making the chase. The 00 team came into this season with high hopes, and even though they are 17th in points, they are by no means out of it yet. Here's our Wendy Venturini.
Thanks, Johnny. We're on the floor of Michael Waltrip Racing, just minutes down the Hub studio, joined by David Reutimann. Now, David, a great finish for you guys, 11th at Daytona. Does that give you guys some momentum in these final races to the chase?
We need a lot of momentum. I tell you, the way our season started off, and we've been able to claw back from, I think we're as far back as 30th in points, and now I think we're back up to 17th. So we still got some ground to cover, but we do have a little momentum going in these last couple races, and we need a lot because we've got a lot of ground to make up.
Of all the teams outside the chase, you're the driver in the last 8 races that has gained the most amount of points. That is a big deal because you really need to get these points on these final races.
Yeah, we have gained the most points, but we need to gain a whole lot more. And in order to do that, we're going to have to take the Tums Toyota, and we're going to have to go this weekend. We're going to have to run in the top 5. We're going to have to try to do that. And we're going to have those kind of finishes from here till basically the cutoff, because the guys in front of us are really, really good teams, really competitive, running well, and we're going to have to definitely step up our game to get to where we need to be.
You're not the only driver saying that you have to be a little bit more aggressive right now going into these final races. This have-at-it mentality, how much are you seeing it on the racetrack?
I mean, it depends on the racetrack a lot of times. I mean, some of the shorter racetracks, you see it like we saw it a couple weeks ago at Loudon. And maybe at the bigger racetracks, not so much because, there's still some of that goes on, but I don't think it's as evident. And the penalty's a lot bigger on a bigger racetrack. If you get into a guy and you start to rough him up a little bit, chances are he's going to end up getting in the fence pretty hard, and then that's going to probably end up being some kind of retaliation farther down the road that you probably don't need. So, it's kind of give and take as it always has been, but, you're seeing a little bit more of the guy's personality starting to come out.
How much are you watching your competitors around you in points? Are you paying attention to them every single race?
No, I'm not. I really couldn't even tell you who's in front of us in points at this point, because I just figure whenever we get to where we need to be, somebody will tell me, because there's no sense in focusing on that. We just go out there and try to do our job, get those top 5s and those top 10 finishes, and not lose any points, and nothing but gain points, because anything else is just a distraction at this point. We'll just keep plugging away at it, and when we get to where we need to be, I think somebody will tell me.
All right, in your opinion, do you have a realistic shot of making the chase, David?
I do. I don't. I think it's, we have our work cut out for us, but I do think we do have a realistic shot with the help of Toyota, Tums, Best Western, and Aaron's. I think we can get there.
Okay, so looking at the season so far, what do you want to improve on?
I think we just need to get more consistent. I mean, we've had top 5 finishes, we've had good finishes, and we've had some failures that are outside our control. We've also done some things that have bitten us on racetracks that we should really run good at. So I think we need to try to eliminate those things, do the little things a little bit better, and I think we'll be there. All
right, we're hearing that you have a handshake on this contract extension. What's the latest with Michael Waltrip Racing and David Reutimann?
Well, I think right now we're still at the handshake spot. A couple other things got to fall into place for everything to go, and we'll finally sign on the dotted line. But I think we're really, really close to doing that. And again, a handshake deal, to me is just good as signing for me. I mean, that's they gave me their word. That's what they're going to do. I've committed to them. They've committed to me, and we're ready to move on.
How tough is it mentally, knowing that you also have to deal with that, or do you put it out of your mind?
At this point, it's completely out of my mind. I don't feel like we have anything else to discuss about it. Hopefully, in a couple of weeks, we'll be able to make an announcement and nail it all down, and actually, announce that we're finally done and signed, and we can just go on and race.
All right, on the fun side of racing, drivers get to do a lot of things. You went to Camp Boggy last week, sister camp to Victory Junction Gang. Tell us a little bit about that camp.
It was a great experience. I mean, I've lived in Florida basically my whole life, growing up there, and the camp's been there for quite a while, and I've never really known anything about it. It's just off the beaten path, out in the middle of the woods, kind of, so to speak, and a great facility, a great bunch of people doing some amazing stuff, and I want to continue to try to help them, give them money, and I think a lot of the people should get on the bandwagon and help, because they're doing some amazing things for kids with a lot of different kind of illnesses, and it was an eye-opening experience, and you leave there feeling very, very blessed that you've had good things in your life.
All right, here we are on a weekday at your shop. What does a person like David Reutimann do during the weekday besides talk to NASCAR Race Hub?
Well, besides doing that, we were just getting done with our team meeting here today. Other than that, though, just getting ready to go race again this week, working on my dad's dirt car up in my shop a little bit, and feeding horses, doing stuff like that. So it's pretty much the same for me every week. I don't do a whole lot that's exciting.
All right, heading to Joliet to Chicagoland Speedway. What are your expectations going into this weekend?
We have a really good mile-and-a-half program. That's been our strong point all year, and even last year as well. So I feel like we'll have a good run. Toyota's bringing us some more horsepower, another package that they continue to evolve and make things better. Going to have tons on the car this weekend. I'm excited about going to mile-and-a-half racetracks. I really like them a lot. And again, I think our program is strongest. I think our program's strong everywhere, but I think it's strongest on the mile-and-a-half, and I can't wait to get there.
All right. Well, we look forward to seeing you in Chicago.
Thanks,
Good luck this weekend.
Thank you.
Johnny, back to you.